Okay, guys, welcome to part two, or actually one and a half. So you can see here, I have my onions in here. I have my garlic way at the bottom. That's in there. That's gonna go in after I do the sear. Here's the meat. As you can see, all nice and heavily seasoned. Now, some of this did fall apart already, so that's really good. I try to do 4 large pieces. This piece is barely hanging on by a thread, but this should all fit in there. I have my beef broth right there, 1.5 cups, and then I have my can of beer. Then I have, I forgot to tell you last time, when you put this on earlier and do saute mode, throw in a little bit of oil. About a good tablespoon, maybe a tablespoon and a half should do, just enough to kind of just coat it a while because you are going to do your sear. And that's what I'm going to do now. Now, I'm trying to do this with one hand. So I'm going to do the first one and throw it in there. Actually, you really shouldn't do that. But because I just want to show you, I'm going to do two at a time right now. If you guys have these things here called thongs, that's what you use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that sear for about a good 2 minutes or so, and then we're going to flip it over. Now, I'll leave this in right here, and we'll just continue to wait. Now again, these first two, I'm doing two at a time just because I want to make sure I have a lot of room in there. I probably could put and overload it, but it's much easier to sit there and flip it and do everything with two at a time than doing 3 or 4. So, rather be safe than sorry right now. So, also I forgot to show you guys, I think it's kind of obvious, but you are going to make a little bit of a mess when you do everything, at least I do. So, get yourself a tablecloth, or get yourself a towel, honestly, to put over your tablecloth or your nice table. That way, if everything gets a little bit dirty, you're just dirtying the towel, and no big deal. Get a bunch of towels. You can get a towel real cheap at a swap meet or something like that, or wherever. Just, it's just much easier to do a towel than to have a whole bunch of paper towels and everything. And I'm running low on paper towels over there, as you can see. I gotta go to the store in a little while. By the way, side note, this was gonna be my bread. Unfortunately, it's a little too hard. This has got a couple days old, but don't worry about that. I'm going to make this guy into some croutons. I don't know if you guys saw my previous video, but it's really easy. And actually with stale bread like this, it's really easy to do croutons. So anyways, I'm going to go back to my market a little bit later. And I'm going to get myself some more bread, maybe some hoagie style, French bread style, and maybe a little bit more sourdough because I do like my sourdough. All right, so it's been almost 2 minutes. All we're trying to do, guys, is get a sear. So the purpose of this is we're using the same pot. We're getting a sear to have some of that juices and sear in the pot. Because we're going to use the same pot. We're not going to clean it. We're going to use the same pot to get the same aroma and same spices into this guy. And that's going to help with our meat when we make our au jus. Okay, so right now what I'm going to do, get my thongs, and I'm going to turn it. And we got a pretty good sear going on right there. And now we're going to get this other guy here. Hopefully he goes nice and easy. Maybe a little difficult, but again, one hand. And there we go. And as you can see, not bad. So we'll wait a little bit longer. And again, right now, we're not trying to cook it. All we're trying to do is just get a little bit sear. We want to get some of that goodness sealed inside in here. So what we're going to do is wait another few minutes. Then I'm going to do the other two off camera. And then I'm going to show you our step 3 coming up shortly. So again, all we're doing is getting a little bit of sear in here, and I recommend at least 2 minutes on each side. You can do longer. You can do 3 minutes. You're not trying to cook anything. You're just trying to get a little browning. That's all we really need. Okay. And also, I've seen some people do the sides, so you can see right there, it's very, very pink. You don't have to. I mean, it's your choice. I have not seen much of a difference taste-wise in the end result product, but if you want to sit here for half an hour and sign everything, you can brown everything to your heart's content if you want. Let me know. See if it makes a difference. I have not tasted it. Usually, if you get a good-sized chunk of meat like these two guys here, it goes in very fine. Now, what you want to do is make sure you have something manageable. Just like over here, I have these guys. This guy here might fall apart, that's fine. But don't chop it up on purpose. It just happened to be that they were loose and the fat was in there. So that fat is flavor, so I'm leaving it in. And some people will say, well, it looks like you're over seasoning it. Well, not really. You really, guys, you can't over season this because it's going to all get underwater soon in the pressure, and that seasoning is going to help penetrate it. And again, I am not doing this overnight. This is done is a quick, you know, in quotation marks, hour and a half or so meal that you can make. Your prep time is going to be about maybe 20 to 45 minutes, and that is going to include time for our steam to go on. Okay, guys, it's almost been about 2 minutes here, so I am going to take it out and just put it on my towel right there and do the next ones, and then we should be ready to go for the next meat. And I'll see you at the next part. Bye.